Recording case manager time spent in Service Point. Many agencies want to know where their case managers are spending their time, perhaps for accounting purposes, or maybe they are mandated by their funders to do so. Here's how we'll report time spent in Service Point. The reported amount of time spent will be the accumulation of each individual case management session duration. Here are case management sessions, and underneath is an arrow depicting the duration of the session. We need to make some assumptions. A session is expected to be for one client or one household at a time. And so then, because of this first assumption, the second assumption dictates that there can be no overlapping session times. So for example, here's the case management session for client or household A. If it started at 9 a.m. and finished at 11 a.m., the subsequent session must start on or after the end time of the previous session. So client A session ended at 11 a.m. Client B session can only start at 11 a.m. or after 11 a.m. Methods for tracking case manager time spent. A case manager can anticipate whether the session is going to be short or long and record that information accordingly in Service Point. Let's look at a short case management session. Here the case manager knows the client, has worked with them previously, has already recorded all their information in Service Point, and the client indicates that this is going to be a short session. They ask for something simple and quick like personal grooming supplies. Here's how it'll be recorded in Service Point. Click on Add Need Service. You can include the household members if you need to. Here's the Need section, recorded as personal grooming supplies. Here's the Service section, recorded the same as the Need because you're able to provide those personal grooming supplies. You go down to the Need outcome and you specify that it's closed and the outcome is fully met. And lastly, always lastly, when you're completely done, specify your end date. Sometimes Service Point will default an end date here, sometimes it doesn't. Be cognizant of that. If it does default an end date, the end date and time is the same as the start date. And so let's say it took us 10 minutes to dispense these supplies, so we just change the time to 11:16, and we go down to the bottom and press save. And so now we've recorded that we just spent 10 minutes dispensing or providing the service of personal grooming supplies. Now let's look at a long case management session. Here the client is perhaps brand new, or the case manager knows that this is going to be a lengthy case management session. Here's a Gantt chart of what this session might look like. The case manager can start the clock running by specifying an open-ended case management service. So here at the beginning of the case management session, the case manager immediately starts a case management service, gets the clock running, then goes about conducting business with the clients, providing need services, need referrals, etc. And perhaps after the last need service or need referral, the clients leave the office and the case manager is performing some follow-up work, perhaps calling landlords on the phone, and now they're completely finished working on behalf of the clients. Now they go back into that case management service, specify an end time, and they're finished. Let's see that in Service Point. Click on Add Need Service. Again, include the household members if you like. Specify the need as case management. Specify that the service is the same as the need. Again, service point defaulted at end date. We don't care about that right now because we don't know when the session is going to end. And perhaps we can be helpful to ourselves and we can change the status to in progress, and we press save. This case management session has begun and it's in progress. And now I, as the case manager, go about my business and I record all these needs, services, referrals for the client, and the clients leave my office and I perform some follow-up work, make some phone calls. Now I'm completely done working on behalf of the clients. I go back into the service, click on the pencil next to the service, and here's where I specify the end time. Let's say this took all the way to 12:08, so exactly 1 hour. Doesn't have to be in exact increments. Maybe it took till 12:09, honestly. Now I can change the status to closed, outcome, fully met, save, valid service end date set on or after the start date. I forgot to change the AM to PM. Sorry about that. Let's do that. So now the start time was 11:08 AM, finished at 12:09 PM. Now we press save. And we've just recorded 1 hour and 1 minute of case management. And that concludes recording case manager time spent.